Good morning. I am Nakamoto Nobutada, Doctor of Science, Professor Emeritus of Shinshu University. So I am this is the remote JICA training from Okinawa, Japan. But Nakamoto, I am participating remotely from Ueda, Nagano, Japan. I belong to the NPO Okinawa Blue Water and NPO Community Water Supply Support Center of Japan. The weather is look like this time look like this. We can see the snow mountain from my city. The winter time, almost all the leaves is falling down. This is winter time, very cold. And on the slow and filter, winter time, so the covered with ice. In summer, there is growth of the bloom of the algae. Let's start. So this course is Small Water Supply System by EPS. EPS is Ecological Purification System and Management Water Supply System to make artificial, clean, and safe spring water. Yes, Ueda City is located from Tokyo about 200 kilometers, the mountain area. So this is Ueda City. And there is a river, Shikuma River, somewhat a little bit large river. And there is the subsurface water spring out. This is clean water, clear water. And Ueda City, there is a Somea water purification plant. This is we called slow sand filter. But this system is, I think, the ecological purification system. This is wide application ecological process in nature. The present time, the water source comes from a tributary of Kangawa. So in the point here, that is about 5 kilometers far from this water purification plant. So in my city, surrounded, there is a mountain area, there is many, so clear and clean and safe spring water. This system is to make the artificial clean and safe spring water. And this remote JICA training from Okinawa here, this is Japan. My city is Ueda Nagano. It's far from about more than 2,000 or around 2,000 kilometers or more, far from here to my city. I'm participating from remotely from Ueda, Japan. This is cold, so the area, this time especially. And this one, so the slow sound filter is so developed in United Kingdom in 1829, more than around 200 years ago. This system distributed to the world, and in Japan, new idea ecological purification system was developed, recognized as the ecological purification system. So from this idea distributed to the world, this course is participate in the world from the Africa and Asia and the South Pacific, different time zone, very difficult to gather at the same time, to access. Therefore, so recording, then distributed. And a small water supply system by ecological purification system is just now. So the weather city around this mountain area, there is snow gallons speed, so the ski, and in summertime is sports area. But in the weather city look like this, all the grass is died and look like this. And in summertime look like this. And to make a safe drinking water is this water, so artificial way. In that case, using the model I explained. And so in my city area, there is a small water supply system. And there is. So whether, and the Okinawa is also, there is many. And the South Pacific, we advised to make a small water supply system. And this lecture is, the lecture on today's lecture is water cycle, origin of slow sand filter and spread of slow sand filter in the world. The second, purification mechanism and slow sand filter, rapid sand filter, and ecological purification system. The focus on chemical-free slow sand filter. Lecture 3, roughing filter to reduce the turbid matter. Phenomena of ecological purification system. JICA training on EPS in Okinawa. Manual of EPS. And lecture 5, EPS in Japan in the world. And the final, EPS for the rural community, Samoa and Fiji. I think the not large system, small system is beautiful, easy to construct and maintenance. So at first, I have to explain about myself, my background. When I was in high school, I was surprised that protozoa, which can only be seen with a microscope, are active. Then I studied biology at the university. At the university, I studied about phytoplankton. Plankton, in this one, is a plankton sampling in pond. So at that time, I found some algae can be digested and some cannot. And I study about the reservoir, so there is from the river to the lake. At that case, there is a boundary layer. There is a bloom of the filamentous, so protozoa of the peridium that has a flagella. They can move in. And boundary layer. River and lake boundary layer, growing organism is suitable for the new environment. And I studied in graduate study. At that case, oceanography, I studied about the oceanographic study, ocean survey. At that time, I understand. So I learned that we do not use tools or equipment that we cannot repair ourselves because a ship cannot return. And so sometimes, So we attack to the bad weather. We so we cannot do anything. And at that time, sometimes I can't do anything for a week. At the, so in this big ocean survey ship, so at that time, I correct the poor ocean. So we correct the phytoplankton activity using the isotope. So put in the bottle. So from my experience, I decided to check the textbook and promotion. And I learned that I have to check myself without believing. Because sometimes in the field, animal running around, but so very difficult to measure the activity. We have to enclose in the cage, enclose in the bottle. So this is what is the real activity, very difficult to measure. And during my so the graduate course, at that case, I traveled in the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. After that, I got a position of Shishu University from Tokyo to this location, around 200 kilometers far from here. And so I traveled to the many countries. I learned the applied biology. I got a position, applied biology, applied ecology, and start to the reservoir study. And from 84, I start to the study about throws and filter. I found this was wise use of biological phenomena. And after retirement of my university, 2008, I became the professor emeritus of Shinjuku University. After that, I continued the JICA and NGO activities, Okinawa Blue Water and Community Water Supply Support Center in Japan. In Ueda City, there is a reservoir, so behind of this, around here. So the Sugataira Reservoir study. And started for 84 the source and filter study in Ueda City. I found this is biological, so ecological, so purification system. If there is a sunlight and nutrition, algae grow well in this filter pond. When the temperature is high, animal graze it immediately. The growing and decline at the boundary of the changing the environment. I learned in the reservoir study. And I also, in 1974, I visited to the University of San Carlos, so Federal University of San Carlos and the University of São Paulo, Brazil. So I found that, so always, so the phytoplankton is always hungry condition. Algae always wait some nutrient. Animal always wait food. Hungry is normal. I learned. And through some filter, so I say, so the wise use of biological phenomena, principle of purification in mechanism to make ourselves safe drinking water had been misunderstood as mechanical filter by the name slow sound filter. We call English filter. So I renamed ecological purification system, EPS. So I already mentioned about from this reservoir water and take into this slow sand filter. And then, so at that time, algae is not so good for the water engineer. Therefore, they twist algaecide. So they said algae is bad algae. So that algae is a food for animal. Stop the algaecide, algal bloom again. The taste turned to the delicious tap water. I start to study about the role of algae and small animals. This is, I image of slow sand filter. The world look like this one, mechanical separation of turbid water with fine sand and slow filtration. But this is real purification system. It's the real purification by the activity of small biological community near the sand surface. Key is purification is food chain among biological communities. Biological sense and ecological sense are essential to understand the purification mechanism. In Weather City, original slow sand filter was built, constructed in 1923, around 100 years ago. At that time, the low water intake subsurface water, so this water bring to the slow sand filter. Then only slow sand filter and reservoir for filtrate. But weather cities expand. Therefore, they made so many filters, and intake water is from the river, tributary, river surface water. The present summer water treatment has 13 filters and 4 storage tanks. This is wise application of ecological process in nature. So they use the coagulant sometimes, and then sediment and sand filter. And with the city, there is another system plant. Nagano Prefecture government constructed rapid sand filter of American filter in 1964 in Weather City. This plant requires high technology, a lot of chemical and energy. This plant was managed by special engineers who have high skill. And so this process, and there is a large amount of sludge. The city is financially rich and can be maintained in facilities that are experienced to maintain. And there are also some special engineers. Small system is better in mountain area and simple and easy to maintenance system is suitable for local people. And in that warm region, so the tropical region, cyclone and heavy typhoon, look like this one, is so sometimes attacked. The facility is damaged, big damage, very difficult to repair. In the case of the small system, it's easy to repair, easy to tolerate, not so easy to broken. So it is small, it It is not easy to damage. The pipe is also small and easy to repair. Small and simple plant is suitable for local area. Let's go to detail of EPS. At first, water cycle, original source and filter. The water cycle in nature, human beings intercept the natural water cycle in order to take water for their purpose. And after using the water, they return it to the cycle. Origin of water from the ocean, evaporation and rain. So these water we can use. And so sometimes this spring water stored and this distributed. This is easy way to provide the safe drinking water. So bottled water is just bottled in this water. In case of the Okinawa, there is many islands and the coral island. At that case, there is no mountain. At that time, they have to use rain water or inflated so underground water pumping up. And so in my city area, there is many spring water, look like this one, and this is Korea. So there is, we call natural sweet and delicious water, this one. And in the popular of the rain harvest, where is it had to get clean water in, so the tropical area, rain harvest, natural spring water and rain harvest water are usually sweet and delicious. There is no irritate substance in this water, but sometimes it contains some germ cell, germ bacteria. Therefore, it is better to so they purify this water. And this spring water. So if this taste is good, in that case, there is presence of the oxygen. If this water is not good, that is, there is too small amount of dissolved oxygen, heavy metals, easily to present, so dissolved into this water. At that time, we have to aerate, cascade aeration or shower aeration. Familiar surfaces are not always safe. How to get water? So at that case, so filtration or boiling. In the case of the underground water, there sometimes contained heavy metals. So this is, we try to get from these water to make a safe drinking water. Then I would like to say modern technology, recent technology is original public water supply by slow sand filter. Artificial system, natural safe filtered water was originated from clear seepage water in floodplain of a river. So this one, taken to here, and the sand filter and clear water. Horizontal flow filter. In that case, Around 200 years ago, so the John Gibb in Paisley near Glasgow, so the Scotland, breacher of textile made an artificial clear seepage water of the floodplain of River Clyde for his factory. Industrial Revolution period, he delivered the clear water to Paisley town. This is the origin of public water supply of treated water, they say. In that case, horizontal way, the settling basin and gravel sand filter, the center is clear water. The completion of English filter, Paisley filter is horizontal. And James Simpson is created. So from the Thames River water is so highly polluted water taken into the decanting basin. This is settling basin. And then this supernatant water taken into the sand filter, that is vertical type. So in the Paisley is horizontal, vertical type. So at that time, this filter rate was about 2 or 3 meters per day. So this is 10 centimeters per hour. Depth of water is only 38 centimeters. And sand is 60 centimeters and gravel 60 centimeters. After that, he made the practical slow sand filter, 1 acre. So sand filter is here. This is 1829. And this design look like this. This is supernatant water, and one is fine sand, loose sand, and pebble and shell, and for fine gravel, large gravel contain the bricks content. This is practical use. 1 acre filter. Unfortunately, no detailed drawing were left. In his book, so Case of Pure Water, James Simpson and Chelsea Water Works Company. He was born in 1799. He works at the Chelsea Water Works of his father's company. At the age of 24, James Simpson was appointed inspector engineer of the water company. And he traveled. He made, at 28, he made his 2,000-mile inspection trip of Manchester, Glasgow, all over the Great Britain. And on January 1829, James Simpson was his 13th years old, the 1 acre filter of at Chelsea Company. This is the well-known about the first English filter as English slow sand filter. It was put into operation. And after that, John Snow studied about at that time, cholera outbreak in London. So at that time, this well is contaminated by cholera disease from the underground water. And another one is not so contaminated. Therefore, after that, so the filtration is contamination, how it is. And they found through sand filter is eliminate the germ bacteria, cholera bacteria. So, and at that time, Thames water is highly polluted, look like this, by so the sewage discharge into the Thames water. So they call the grotesque monster sewage, look like this. And in 1829, 92, in Germany, in Hamburg, at that case, so the Hamburg suffered from cholera epidemic that infected and caused more than 7,500 deaths. And while Altona was almost unscathed, this is many people was died, and this is almost none. The difference is this one is non-treated water. This one supplied by so the through sand filters water. So at that time, Robert Koch tested the bacteria in water with through sand filtration. When bacteria count were less than 100 chromiform unit per milliliter, epidemic of cholera and typhoid were reduced. This result present the WHO safe standard for bacteria is referred to this result by Robert Koch. So that means it is not necessarily completely zero. There is some level. This idea is so-called acceptable risk. Anyhow, it is better to remove the risk, reduce the risk, wash away hand, reduce the risk of contamination. And the report in 1893 from the Berlin, bacteria and dirty matter were accumulated at the top of the sand layer. And deep in, so this depth of scraping was deep in winter, shallow in summer. However, algae was in bloom. Detection of bacteria in open filter is effective and more clear filtrate water in comparison with other open and cover filter during 20 years. It was notified to biological phenomena. However, he described that a physical process was made. We cannot explain about the deduction of the mechanical filtration or physical adhering function. So winter is, this depth is thick. Summer is thin layer. So there is, they say the biological active, related to biological function. This is the same to the natural soil profile. This depth, biological decomposed layer is only near the surface. This depth depends on the biological activity. I'm sorry. European people construct the through sand filter in order to get the germ-free safe water for them. At that time, from from England to the many colonial, so in the world. At that time, this water is more high, then biological activity is more high. Therefore, at that time, standard English filter, they called at that time 4.8 meter per day. So at first, the James Simpson is 2 meter per day, but the English standard rate is 4.8 meter. But after that, Thames water tested. At that time, present Thames filter rate in London is 9.6 meter per day. Faster flow rate, rate makes better filtrate even in cool London. Thames Water Company recognized that purification is done by the activity of small biological activity in straws and filter. European people constructed straws and filter in order to get germ-free safe water for them in developing countries where a warm climate is. And as you know, the straws and filter is the fruit around the world trade, so the period. Straws and spread in the world, European people construct for them this one. So this system, and from so application of this one to Earth survey, European people, no? European people construct the straws by themselves using local materials in developing countries. Everyone was developing them by themselves. So please, ecological purification makes a sweet water safe drinking water without any chemical addition. Wide application of natural phenomena. We can make a super clean water. If you please catch the QR code by your smartphone, you can read YouTube file. Please search ecological purification system to end Nakamoto in YouTube file. You can find many files related to this lecture. So this one is from the UK recognized as ecological purification system in Japan. This system is distributed from Japan to the world. So this is the final. So thank you, this lecture. Tomorrow is lecture 2, purification mechanism, straws and filter, raptors and the ecological purification system. The focus on chemical-free straws and filter. Thank you, kind attention.